moment to really take the spotlight and take away that, you know, the light that is, or the stardom that is happening around Delboni right now, particularly after that last fight. But I think this is the opportunity that Belenchia needs to showcase that she is one of the best in the world and to really just solidify her position at the top of the division.
She came out and threw about a 7-punch combination to start her first fight here tonight. We'll see if she's that aggressive against Delboni. One thing to know when you compare the two athletes, it is Belenchia who has that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, a brown belt for Delboni. But styles make fights. The belt colors don't often matter exactly, you know, pound for pound, color for color in an MMA fight.
Exactly, and with Belenchia, I think she needs to take a little bit of a different approach against somebody who is such a power puncher in Delboni.
Jessica Delboni, 3 weeks removed from her title fight against Alicia Zappitella. She was heartbroken after the judges went against her in that showing. She said she was actually retired for about 10 minutes. And then she found out about the tournament and she said, do I want to have to win 3 fights to get another opportunity at this belt? Heck yeah, I do. And she's marched here. She's got win number 1 already put away, and now she looks for win number 2.
She does, and you know, she loves fighting. She hates having a break in her fighting, so I'm not surprised her retirement lasted for 10 minutes. I think she really wants to make a statement here tonight, not just in the cage, but outside of the cage, to the judges, to Zappitella, to everyone.
Jessica Delboni hopes to solidify her spot in the finals by getting a win here in the semis. Jessica Delboni wants to get that spot back in the title picture. Again, 3 weeks removed from that showdown with Alicia Zappitella, and she's got to be better informed than anybody what the judges are looking for. She, you know, did what she needed to do against Tabitha Watkins, which was a very close fight, you know, having to defend that armbar. You know, Jessica Delboni's got it right thus far as what the judges are looking for here.
She does, and you know, I didn't mean to discredit her when she, you know, I said I wouldn't approach this as a sparring match because, of course, I've never been in the sparring matches she has been in her gym. But I will say that Delboni is extremely determined, extremely happy to be here, and her mindset was completely different this week for Fight Week, TJ. She was so cheerful, so relaxed. I'm excited to see that carry over here.
We'll see what Jessica Delboni can do in our semifinals. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape for this bout. It is powered by Zebra, the world's leading training facility outfitter. Marisa Messer Belenchia, 29 years old, the Brazilian 34. It is Delboni that will stand 4 inches taller. Both women have a 62-inch reach. The official introductions for the semifinal is with Joe Martinez.
And all fight fans, we are set to go with our second semifinal. This again in the atom weight division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. This mixed martial artist stands 5 feet even. Weighing in officially 105 1/2 pounds. Her professional record stands at 3 victories and 1 defeat. Fighting out of North Haven, Connecticut, here is Marisa Spider Monkey Belenchia. And across the cage, her opponent fighting out of the red corner. This mixed martial artist stands 5 feet 1 inch tall. She too weighed in 105 1/2 pounds and in 13 fights holds a record of 10 victories and 3 defeats. Fighting out of Niterói, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, here is Jessica Delboni. And your referee in charge of the action is Marcio La Selva.
It is time for our second semifinal of the evening. We see Marisa Messer Belenchia taking on the former title contender, Jessica Delboni. A spot in the tournament finale on the line here. Delboni in the white, Belenchia in the black. Our clock powered by Juju Me. Fight premature aging with Juju Me's high-grade Juju Bees, the ultimate unknown superfood. Use code Invicta FC for 10% off. Delboni said that she wanted to utilize her jiu-jitsu in this tournament. She did so a bit more defensively in that first fight with Tabitha Watkins. We'll see if she goes on the offense with it here against Belenchia, but again, Belenchia, black belt in BJJ.
She is, but, you know, watching the way Delboni's reacting to Belenchia's striking, you know, just her calmness right now, her coolness, her demeanor is really interesting.
And it's hard to, again, make that adjustment when you only have 5 minutes. We'll see how it unfolds. But, you know, unorthodox styles can actually really pose more of a problem when you're forced to, you know, speed up the game plan and process with only 5 minutes to work.
Yeah, exactly, TJ. And I think that's what we're seeing in Delboni right now. We're showing her well-roundedness. She's taking a very different approach. And I think Belenchia, she's not as aggressive in that first round. If we look at both of where they were in the semifinals, Delboni has had a lot more time to recover, and you know she could take advantage of that going into this next round.
Nice punch there, found a home for Delboni. You know, the adrenaline dump is something that a lot of people talk about. I mean, how real is that, Julie?
I think it's real. You know, I can't comment on it now because it's been a while since I've had one. But it's definitely real. What it can do is it can make you very, very tired, TJ. And especially after a hard-fought victory like Belenchia had, you know, that it can really settle down and make sure your muscles feel sluggish and, you know, it's hard to move. She doesn't seem sluggish to me, but I can understand that she's not throwing the 7-punch combo right now.
Something that will make your muscles sluggish is a hard kick like Delboni landed that lead leg of Belenchia. We'll see if she sticks with that. 3 minutes left to go here in this fight.
And that's the type of fight you need to fight against somebody who is looking to go for those takedowns, go for those, you know, grappling exchanges, because they need to be able to put weight on that leg to go for the shot. And so by doing that, Delboni is doing a good job ensuring that the integrity of that leg is compromised.
And leg kicks are something that generally pay dividends over the course of a longer fight, but we've seen as of late, you know, leg kicks can have an instant and immediate impact as well.
Exactly, particularly when you hit for the calf, where Delboni's kind of going more for the thigh, and she's doing a lot of damage that way, which, you know, it's forcing Belenchia to adjust and not be as forward punching as she was, particularly in the first round. But I think also styles make fights. Belenchia is not fighting who she just was. She's fighting Delboni now, who is a very different style, and styles make fights.
We talk a lot about fitness and cardio. You got to believe that Delboni has the advantage of being active. She eats a hard punch there by Belenchia, but you know, having that title fight 3 weeks ago, you know she's in shape. She's in shape,
TJ, but you know, we can see she's picking her shots. She's trying to find the big explosive shots, whereas Belenchia is, you know, she's throwing. And even though Delboni's landing a bit more accurately than Belenchia, I don't know what the judges are seeing. You know, when Delboni was very measured in her fight against Zappitella, it didn't work for her as well in their eyes. Oh, big shot.
That's the other thing too. The athletes, you know, never want to show weakness. I feel like in this, you know, one-round fight, it's magnified the sort of reaction that you give your opponent when they do land.
Exactly, and I think even Belenchia, while her nose is bloody, she's doing a really good job of having a poker face, and she's kind of adjusted to Delboni. When Delboni throws her left hand out for that jab, she brings it down a little bit as she returns it to her face, and she's countering with that right hand over the top, which she's hit a couple times, and you know, Belenchia has some power. So Delboni really has to watch out for that. But I think Delboni's doing a really good job now of countering with a little bit of higher volume, which is going to, I see it being a little bit more, it's going to pay dividends in the eyes of the judges.
Headed down the stretch here, under 45 seconds remain. Any predictions here, Julie? Will we see maybe a takedown attempted to try to solidify this and take this?
I wouldn't be surprised, TJ, especially now that they're locked up there. But honestly, you know, Delboni's done a really good job with her measured attacks. I particularly like the way she put her hands in front of that inside leg kick each time to make sure Belenchia's attention was staying up high. However, they're up against the cage. Belenchia can just smother her here right now if she wants to and kind of lay on her and make her hold her weight. And we'll see how that's scored. Nice.
Final seconds here for these athletes to try to solidify their spot in the finale. Five minutes in the books. The judges will have to sort it out. Belenchia bloodied from the nose a bit, but Delboni back in her corner. She feels like she still has some work to do here tonight. I mean, the judges have their hands full. We saw Belenchia stick to sort of her game plan, but we saw some really hard kicks to the lead leg from Jessica Delboni.
I think of the two, Delboni threw with a lot more damage. She threw the harder punches. She was a lot more calculated, but she did walk backwards, which, as we've seen in the Alicia Zappitella fight, that was scored against her in a couple of the rounds, even though she did have a lot more volume. But when we look at this fight here, while she was very patient, she was controlled, she attacked the leg, Belenchia still had a couple of her moments, but I think those leg kicks is really what paid dividends. She was very accurate with her strikes, whereas Belenchia was really catching Delboni on the back and tail end of her combinations with those wild punches. She kind of went in there towards the end of that round with, I've got a nothing to lose mentality, and just kind of put it all on the line.
Again, the criteria for scoring mixed martial arts, that is effective striking and grappling, followed by aggression and cage control in that order. And that's where the subjectivity sort of comes into play. When you look at it, it's backing up a defensive posture, because defense is not measured when scoring a fight. So at times, fighters move backwards to their own detriment in the eyes of the judges.
Exactly, and if you look at both of their faces, Delboni didn't really take a lot of damage. Belenchia did, but how are they going to score that forward pressure?
We shall find out. The judges have figured it out, and the spot in the finals, who's it going to be? It lies with Joe Martinez.
Well, 5 hands after 1 round, we go to the judges. All three 10-9 for your winner, and advancing to the finals tonight, from Brazil, Jéssica Delboni.
Jessica Delboni said it was going to be a storybook night in Kansas City, and she is 1 win away from going back in front of Alicia Zappitella. But first, she's going to have to go through Lindsey Van Zandt. Our Taryn Temple is with LVZ.
TJ, I'm back here with Lindsey Van Zandt. You just found out who your